Salam alaikum and hello my dear creatives. My name is Razial. You can call me Raz. I hope you all are doing well this season, as well as we getting close to the end of the year. This is not a big video, as it's just me talking what I plan for next year and how I prepared for it. Last year I did a video just like that, and I did a challenge called No Buy Art Supply Challenge, and it lasted for a year, and it was fun while it lasted. This year was filled with so many things, and I have learned a lot. Sometimes I could not help but to sit down and be like, why I have never thought of that much earlier. But like the old saying, later better than never, and honestly it makes perfect sense, especially with everything going on in my life and in the world as well. However, I must admit I haven't been fully focused on my dreams like I should this year. So far, for the next year, I want to change it and be completely focused on at least to attempt to reach to some of my dreams, or at least make a progress, even a little. I have some of the goals pointed out, and I made one rule for me. Separate the main goals from the side quests. Just like in video games, you have main quests and side quests, and I want to focus on my main goals for this year, while my side goals are for fun. It's kinda like a break from my main goals until I come back to them. Also, I have noticed this year and the year before, I've been redoing a lot of OCs so many times again and again, and I want to be able to move on and not just go back and redo my OCs time and time again non-stop, or just making OCs and then abandon them. So I had to take this year much seriously. Also, I decided to turn them into concept art instead of fully finished art. But that also related to if the OC is related to my main goals or side goals. Like if it's OC I just made it up and I'm not sure about it, I'll just make them a doodle of them and leave them on the side. But if it's a main, I of course gonna have to make the reference sheets a bit perfect, and not necessarily perfect, but at least readable for my future, of course. That's also somehow remind me of DeviantArt days when everyone had very detailed reference sheets, and the words, that tiny little explanation was too tiny and you have to zoom so hard to read them and whatnot. It was a chaos. It was old days, wild west of DeviantArt. But now, as we continue going forward, we know the difference between a good reference sheet and a bad reference sheet and whatnot. So yeah, some of the OCs will gonna be separated from main to side and whatnot. Sorry if this took too long at this part, so let's jump right into my main goals. Goal number 1, make a complete comic book. I'm no stranger to make comic book or manga, since I did some in the past. I love telling stories of my OCs and other AUs in my art, and I did attempt to make a serious comic book the start of 2019. It was my first ever actual serious comic book, but I realized it's gonna be a very long one, especially with a lot of back and forth and whatnot, and I have to redo some of the designs, and I need to make sure that people know what they are looking at. And I did improve over time, so I'm thinking this year we'll try again. I hate to have things unfinished, and my last comic book does need a lot of redo. However, I have an idea of a comic book that I could possibly complete this year, I mean next year, of course, 2025. It's gonna be short, but I know for a fact that I'll be able to finish it. I'll be sharing it, of course, in all my socials when I can, and I probably gonna get some beta readers when I can and let them see the pages if it's good or not. And oh yeah, I do have a global comic page if you wanna check it out. If you want to be my beta reader and want to read the comics and want to give me feedback, let me know in the comments, of course. And goal number 2 is making a coloring book. I am a huge coloring book girly and I always wanted to make my own coloring book. I just never know what theme or what kind of coloring book I want to make. If you guys wanted to coloring my art or you have ideas, let me know in the comments, of course. I would love to hear your ideas. I'll be testing few at some point. If you want to be my beta coloring book tester, let me know. Goal number 3, making stickers. I already know how to make digital stickers, but I always love the physical stickers more. Even though I don't always use them and I just love to collect them, I always love to turn my art and OCs into stickers and use them on my stuff. And I would need to try few things before I commit myself to get a sticker printer, and I want to make sure I am 100% committed to it before I go full on it, because this is a very big step and it does cost a lot of money. So wish me luck on that, and hopefully I make stickers for you too. Goal number 4, learning Japanese. This might be silly, but I always loved Japanese language, not only for anime but also for the culture and what Japan have to offer for the world. And because I plan to visit Japan at some point, so I need to learn at least some basic words and phrases before I visit Japan, of course. And I feel like learning a new language is fun, and I need to test myself if I am ready to fully commit it or not. Even though it is my main goal, I need to make sure that I am 100% committed for it. And finally, goal number 5, attempt to make at least a short animation or animatic. I always wanted to animate and to show my skills and tell my stories. I'm no stranger to animation, but I never did it like professionally or 100% completed, which is why I plan to do this year. I've been watching a lot of videos and taking notes. Hopefully I'll be able to animate next year. This is all the main goals for this year, and I know it's very short, but considering the fact that each one of them does take a lot of time and patience, I want to make sure that I do not get overwhelmed and burned out like I did last year and the years before. So I'll be taking my time with them and have fun, of course, and hopefully I learn more over the year, of course. As for the side goals, they're not really that big, but might show some of them here and there over time. Sometimes I just use them as a break from my main goals. For example, number 1 of my side goals, finish all my shiny hunting for both Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Some of you already know I love shiny hunting, and I want to make sure my money worth each of the games. And I know this sounds stupid, but I've been shiny hunting since 2019. Yes, from a while, of course. And one of the reasons why I take it so long is because I'm taking a long breaks from it. Not to mention that I do plan to make a side comic of my adventures as I shiny hunt, but it will be probably very short and silly one, of course, considering the fact that I am almost done with half of Pokemon's. But I will see when time comes, of course. Goal number 2 is to finish all my art supplies. Now, I know this sounds very silly and I'm fully aware of it. It will take some time before I manage to do so. The reason, of course, I believe I said that multiple times before, but for the sake of the time, I'll make it short. The reason behind it is because I want to make more space for better art supplies, or just to have more space in general. I have so many art supplies and some office supplies from when I was younger, and many of them are not that good quality. Of course, I don't need to force it, because I notice the more I try to force it to finish it, the more it fights me back. So I'll just let it go with the flow until I finally get some space, of course. Goal number 3, make my own palette and watercolors. Now, I know this sounds like two different things, however, because both of them are related to watercolors, I couldn't help but to put them together. So, I always wanted to make my own watercolors, especially since I am a big fan of watercolors, of course. And I have seen a lot of people take clay and turn it into their own custom palette. And since I already have clay laying around, which I was keeping it for another project, but I believe this would be perfect for making my own palette, and of course making my own watercolor, of course. And I will see if I manage to make a custom water palette once I have a design for it, and I'll let you guys know if I manage to do so or not. Goal number 4 is write some fanfic. This not necessarily related to only side project or main project, as I do enjoy using my keyboard while I'm writing stuff. Same goes with writing with hand. I always wanted to write something for my OCs, even if it's not just by drawing. Of course, because of my grammar is not that great, and at some part I need to make it better. I wish to at least make it readable, to make it more enjoyable. But let me know if you like to read some of my silly fanfic. I have a AU3 account, but I never write anything just yet. But let me know if you are interested to read it at some point. And finally, number 5, finishing all my coloring books / pages. This might be silly, of course, but I do enjoy coloring stuff. However, like my art supply situation, I have some coloring books that just sitting there collecting dust, and I need to actually use them and make space for new ones. And I probably gonna get myself inkless printer to print my own pages to color. And that's about it really, other than small personal goals like getting 200 subs this year, getting more than 100 followers in all my socials, which of course is not going to be an easy task, but I'll try my best to do small progress for the next year, of course. And I cannot wait to make this huge jump with you guys and make you proud of me, of course, and finally be able to make my dream come true. Not just to tell my stories, but also to earn living through my art as well, which is one of my main dreams since the beginning of my art journey. I always want to earn through the things I love to do. I'll be also documenting my progress through the year with you guys and share things that I have learned and share some of the knowledge that some people do not tell you about or do not wish you know about. Also, do not forget that I'm making a giveaway for 10 lucky winners. I am making a discount this season. Do not miss it out. Make sure you check in the description. That's about it. Until next time, مع السلامة, bye bye, be safe out there and take care.